Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on and show you all. I've had several of you ask about my bows, and so I wanted to just to show you very quickly how I have made some of these bows, and I'll show you. Move these out of the way. Um, Big bows, little bows, um, and I have, let's see. So I even use scraps for even smaller bows. So anyway, I'm going to just show you how I do these. And it is a lot of trial and error. And I'm just learning how to do them. So I will just hop on in. And what you will need for this project, you can use ribbon. I use ribbon for some of mine. Thicker ribbon for the bigger bows I do use. I also use smaller ribbon, um, and not wired, not anything like that, just regular ribbon. And but I also use material, um, and I found just a bundle of fat quarters, and these are 8x8 fat quarters off of Amazon. I also have some other pieces of material that are bigger so that I can make longer bows like this. I have not perfected this yet, and this is one that you don't need any hot glue gun or anything like that. But anyway, I'm going to show you how I make these with a hot glue gun. So I've got my hot glue gun over here. Warming up, and then I use the paper clips. They are the jumbo paper clips. Let's see if it'll focus in for me here. That you can find at Dollar Tree or on Amazon or something like that. But I have a whole container of these. And then I also use, like, for my illustrating Bible, my Illustrated Faith by Dayspring Bible, the big ones, I will sometimes use the great big paper clips. But for the most part, I just use these that are considered jumbo. So anyway, so if you want to make just a very simple, um, like flag type of bow, and what I mean by flag. Okay, so I have cut two pieces of material off of my fat quarters. And I don't have any specific measurements really that I use. Let's see. These are, of course, 8 by, and you can see they're not real straight. Not a very straight cutter. um, uh, 8 by 1, 8 by 1.5, however wide you would like them. But I cut 2 strips, and with this flag type of clip, I just put these together like this. So you've got it double-sided. And see, I'm not a straight cutter, but I'll fix them. So you take your paper clip, and this is the side that goes onto your page. So you've got this bigger opening here. So I take and I've kind of find the middle. I lay it over, and then I just take both sides of both pieces here and just push them through and pull them. And you can kind of let go and let it be. You can just use one one piece if you'd like. I just like the double-sided look. So you just pull it through. You can kind of work it around like so until you get it sort of even and pulled up, kind of tied in a knot. So then if you want it to look like a banner, I take both sides and I just fold them down, and I take my scissors and I start from the outside corner here, and I just cut at a diagonal like so, and then you have a flag, like a banner flag. And then when you do the other side, do the same thing. And then you can just pull it. If you like them to be even, you can continue to work, um, you know, work it where you've got the other side, pulling it up a little further or down. You can kind of manipulate it the way. So that is just one of the ways that I can do. And you don't have to have anything. You don't have to have a hot glue gun or thread or anything like that for just a simple flag type of bookmarker clip, book clip. Okay, so then I took a piece of my fat quarter, and one side of it is the straight edge. The other side, I like mine to look kind of ragged. And so I just simply cut. You don't want it very wide, obviously. So it's 8 inches this way, and then probably less than an inch this way. You can do it however you want to. But if you like the ragged edge, I just start with one little cut, and then I just tear my fabric, because then that gives it the raveled edge. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So you can use this next one with one, or you can double it with two if that's the look that you like. If you don't like the ragged edges, just cut your material with your scissors, and that then you don't have the raveling. So sometimes you have to work with it, okay, to kind of get it together where it'll lay one on top of the other. I take my paper clip and again use this top part, and I just pull one side through, not the other. So it's kind of like your paper clip is laying sideways, if you can see that. So I just kind of hold it, and then all you do is just tie a simple knot. So I pull it through, but then I hold on to my paper clip here. And try to line up my pieces. And then I pull until they are just at the top. So then you have that. You can do your little banner cut on this side if you like that, or you can just start with a little cut if you like the ragged edges, and just pull. You can trim off these pieces if you'd like, but you don't have the strings. So then you just can do the other side the same way. Or if you do like if you like that bannered edge, you can do it. So there's either way. You can do just a slight slant cut. Now, if you don't like it raveled, I'm going to make it to match this. Then you just cut it. It's no big deal. Just cut it at an angle. And so this side is a little longer than this side. So I will cut just a little bit off. A little more. And what I have learned is the side that you don't fold, that's the side that you cut from at an angle. Okay, so I had to learn that because some of mine ended up with pointy instead of like a banner, it was backwards. So okay, so there's another bow. So you have two bows now that you didn't have to do anything but manipulate your material or your ribbon, things like that. Now, so those are two simple ways that you can make some pretty bookmarks. And again, you can use ribbon. That's no problem. I like using ribbon as well, but I also like using the material in fat quarters. Okay, so now this next one is you're going to need your glue gun. So this is obviously almost 8 inches long, and it is 2¼ inches wide. You can do it as wide as you would like. And then just a little scrap piece here that I have. And of course, yes, I tore mine. And then I doubled this because it got a little skinny on the inside. So I doubled it. No big deal. You don't have to. I could leave it like this. Let's just do it like this. It's not. Okay. But then I have just some thread. And this is just your cross stitch floss type of thread because I cross stitch, and so I've got a lot of different colors lying around. So I just have a piece off. Okay, so what you will do, now this is going to make a smaller bow because you want to double it. Okay, so this is going to make a smaller bow clip. And then you can just take your smaller piece and you're just going to pinch in the middle like an accordion. Okay. And kind of bring those outside pieces need to come up. So then you have, you see all my string. Sometimes you have to manipulate it just a little bit more. It's not an exact science. And again, this is just my way to do it. So then you have something that looks like this. So it looks like a bow, right? So now I'm going to take my thread here and I'm just going to wrap around the middle to kind of cinch it. And take the other end and just tie you a couple of knots. Now I run it through almost like a surgical knot over itself twice and then pull it. Say that. Now I can't get it. Okay, there it goes. And then just pull it tight and then just tie a knot. Now you can adapt this to however it works best for you. Now this would be the size of a bow that I would use in just a regular size Bible. Okay. Then you turn it over and you have here. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece of scrap fabric and my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to add just a little dot on the back side. Okay, and remember, be very careful because hot glue is hot and it can burn you. So I just kind of put it down on there like this. and then I flip it over. I'll make sure that's set so that it doesn't move. And then I just wrap. I just wrap it a couple of times around there like that. Now, I have this tail right here, so I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to put my paper clip on here and just slide it forward and try to hold that as best I can. Okay, so I'm going to slide it down just a little bit, and then I'm going to take my hot glue gun again and just put a dot. And then I'm going to pull, I'm going to try to keep that paper clip straight, and I'm going to pull that just as tight or as taut as I can. I'm just going to leave that little tail for now. Got me a little hot glue on my finger. That's okay. Okay, and just kind of squeeze it, let it cool. Now it moves just a little bit, and that's okay with me. I don't mind that. If that bothers you, push that forward a little bit before you do this tail and put you a little bit of hot glue on that paper clip. And then once it's cooled off just a little bit, just take your scissors and cut that tail off. And then you have just a little cute little ragged bow. So I would use this on like my journaling Bible that I use for my momentum. If you want these to, you know, be different, you can kind of manipulate. You could, if you wanted this to be together, you could take your glue, your hot glue gun. I don't, it doesn't bother me that this side is closed and this side is opened. If that bothers you, you can always just, and you want the ragged edges, or if you don't want the ragged edges, just continue to cut. Okay. All right. So now you have your little bow, and you can get all of these little scraps off. If you don't like them, like I said, you can always just use your scissors and cut, and then it wouldn't ravel like that. But I like it unraveled. I mean, it's kind of like me; it becomes unraveled. Okay, so so we've had three different ways to make these. Now I'm going to show you another way, and I'm going to go through the process. And this is going to be a bigger bow that I would use in my illustrating Bible. And this time I'm going to use ribbon instead of material. Okay, so this is just 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to I want this to be a little bigger. So let's just see. I'm just going to say I'm going to do 12 inches, okay? 12 inches. Now this is where your hot glue gun is going to come in. And again, this is just another way to do this. Get me another paper clip. So I'm going to take, before I do this, I need another small piece. Just a small piece because I want to cover in the middle, right? And I still have some thread, which this time I'm just going to unwind my thread here because I don't exactly know how much I'm going to need. So I'm just going to leave that lying out. But I have this piece here. So I'm going to turn it over where the back side is facing me. And I'm going to take these two ends and I'm just going to bring them into the middle. I try to get them as even as possible here. And this will give you, it looks like this, okay? So you're going to do the same thing. You are going to pinch in the middle and do an accordion type of pinch. Okay. I know you guys can't see this because my hands are in the way, but so then you have a bow that looks like this. And again, you can kind of manipulate it. Now, here's what I have found my problem. My pieces come off. So I want to overlap them a little bit more and then pinch. So you want them to meet in the middle, but not just meet, but overlap. So then you have a bigger. Okay. Then I'm going to take my thread, and you can use any kind of thread that you have. It doesn't matter. And then I'm just going to keep a tail because you're going to want something to tie this off with. Okay. And again, I loop, and then I loop again, and then I pull. And then I just tie a knot on the back side. Okay. And then I just get the thread and I just take that off. Okay. Okay, so then you turn it over and you can kind of move this as long as your ribbon is overlapped enough that you're not going to lose one of the pieces that was just laid over, okay? And you can kind of manipulate it a little bit. Sure, if you like it even, you know, that kind of thing. So it's going to give you these closed ends that's more like a bow. Okay, so this piece, again, turn it over where the back side is facing up. Your hot glue gun, a dot of hot glue. Now this time I'm going to take it over the top. Okay, going over the top with this. All right. Then I'm just going to pull it down. Okay. Kind of work it around. Okay. Then I'm going to take a piece. Again, use the top of the paper clip. And this is just another way you can do and cover. So I'm going to lay it on the ribbon that I just moved. Okay. I'm going to lay it on there. Let's see. Let's pull this through. So I kind of like this method because it moves your paper clip up just a little bit more, but it also gives your hands, it gives you a little bit of protection from the hot glue. So I'll pull it up, kind of center it, and then I put some hot glue there to hold the paper clip. Okay, hold the paper clip. And then I just press. So you've got a little bit of protection there because you've got your ribbon. Gonna leave it there. Let it cool just a little bit, and then you just take that part off. Again, I just use my scissors and cut it. And you have a bigger bow. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how I would take a larger piece of fabric and make a larger bow with some tails if you would like. So with some tails. Okay, so you've got this. You have a smaller one here. You have one that you just tied, no big deal, and then you have one that you pulled up through the middle. Okay, so you've got 4 different bows, 4 different ways that you can use these. Okay. So now I'm going to use a different, I'm going to use some material. So, okay. So now I'm going to use a piece of um, fabric, and I'm going to attempt to show you how I do these without using my hot glue gun. This is about 19 inches long. It doesn't have to be that long, but if you want a tail. So, and I'm going to attempt this. This takes a lot of manipulation, and I'm not so good at it, but so you take your paper clip and you're going to put one end of your material in through the paper clip and try to find kind of the middle of your fabric. So put the ends together and kind of pull it that way. Okay, so then I'm just going to scooch this up to the top. And the right side, I'm going to make a loop. Kind of pull it to the side because you want it. And then instead of going around like you normally would, I'm going to go to the back side. And I'm just going to pull it through this way. I'm going to take both sides, and this is a lot easier with a piece of fabric that is not white on the back side. But that's not what I have, so I'm using what I have. And you just kind of pull that, pull this side. Okay. Then I'm just going to cut me a little tail here. I can bring this out. And it's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to learning how to do these. I'm no expert, but I had several of you ask me how I was making my bows. And so I thought I would hop on and show you really quickly. Okay, so I kind of have to figure out how to pull to get your loops the same. And it's a little off center with the paper clip, but that's okay with me. I'm a little off center, so it's totally okay. And if you don't like these, if you want a little bit of a bigger tail, just pull them back. There. And you have a bow clip. Now, another way that you can do this is, and this is, let's see, how long is this one? This one is maybe 15 inches long, and it is 2.5 inches wide, 2.5, almost 3 inches wide. So just find the center here, kind of pinch it. My paper clip is a little off, but that's okay. So I'm just going to pull these sides through like I did when I was making a flag clip. can get there. My fingers weren't working. Okay. So I'm just going to, okay. So I know that the back side is facing me a little more. Still trying to get this to be a little more even, and that's okay. Okay. So you're going to take your left side and you're going to tie like this. Okay, so you take your left side over your right side and you make a little loop here. Okay, trying to keep my sides even here. It's not working too well, but you don't want to pull it really taut because you want to be able to work with this loop here. So I'm going to take this side that's backwards to me, right? This is the back of the fabric and it's facing up. So I'm just going to take this and this loop that I just made, I'm going to open it up just a little bit. And you can see my nail coming through there. And I'm just going to slide this through, okay? Just a little. You can use a bigger piece of fabric if you would like to have longer tails. So I'm just going to kind of leave it like that. It's still, this loop is still very loose. So I'm going to turn it over where now this side is back facing me. The same loop on the back side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to pull this piece through. Okay, like so. I'm going to turn it back around and just try to pull both sides of that. So now I'm going to tighten up that loop. This loop, I'm going to tighten it up by pulling these two out. You can kind of try to manipulate that where your tail is in the back, or you can snip your tail off. So it's pulling this out a little bit more. So I'm just going to pull this where my bows are the same. You can leave it like this if you would like. Try to get that. Okay. You can leave that kind of there. You can put a dot of hot glue on the back if you'd like. So I'm going to clip this off. You don't see any, so I don't have a tail on my bow. Okay. I'm going to take the part of this tail that I pulled through, and I'm just going to put one little drop of hot glue. And then I'm just going to lay that over so that you don't see it and it doesn't, but then it kind of secures that for you. And then you can just manipulate. So easy peasy lemon squeezy, 2 different ways to make your bows. And again, this one was used with a 19-inch piece of material. This was with like a 14 or 15-inch material. You can use them longer so that your bow parts here are bigger if you would like. Okay, so that's another 2 different ways to do. And then, so if you just want to use ribbon and say that you want a smaller bow, okay, just want a smaller bow. So I'm just going to take this ribbon here and I'm just going to cut. You want your piece of ribbon or fabric to be long enough that you can manipulate it and still have the ability to, I'm trying to see if I have, these are all of my, okay. Still want it long enough that you can manipulate it and kind of make it do what you want without it coming apart on you. So again, just a paper clip, take a piece of ribbon, I slid that through and didn't mean to. Kind of find your center. Let's see if it's center, okay. And easy peasy lemon squeezy, just pull that through. So you can do this, you can do any of these techniques with ribbon or with fabric. Okay. So what I found with ribbon is if you don't pull it really taut, especially with just an easy peasy flag, it will try to come apart on you. So you really have to pull that. Okay. So let's just make this a, I have to think about this. Okay. So that was just with ribbon. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy again. So we have made several bows, and I have tried to show you the different ways that I make these. I have lots of ribbon. I used to make Kadrian, my daughter, hair bows, and this is totally different. Well, it's not totally different, but it is totally different. So as I continue to play with these techniques, if you have any easier tips, please comment them below. Be sure to hit the like button on the thumbs up button on this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would appreciate your hitting that subscribe button. And I've enjoyed spending this time with you all today. And as I get better at making these, I will come back and show you some more of what I have learned. But I had a lot of people asking me on Facebook how to make these, so I just thought I would come on and give you just a little bit of a tutorial on how I do this. And like I said, I'm no expert, and this may very well be the total wrong way of doing things, and that's okay. It works for me. And so hopefully I have sparked some creativity in you, and you can find a way that works the best for you. If you are a non-sewer like myself, I know that you can make some really cool bows if you are someone who knows how to sew. I'm not, so uh, using a thread and knotting and maybe some hot glue is my way. So I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye.